We have made some serious progress over at the French house since I was with you last. We were just finishing up framing, the HVAC was being run, and the drains were being put into the floor. Since then, the HVAC has been completed, as has plumbing and the electrical. We've insulated and the drywall is complete. And so I am going to meet up with Dan, my son, who's the general contractor on the project, to talk about all of the new updates and also what to anticipate what's coming next. All right, welcome back to the French house. I'm Jean Stoffer, and I'm here with Dan Stoffer, my son, and also the general contractor on this project. The last time we were in this place with you, it was freezing cold.
We were in the trenches.
Actually, literally. You had to cut away concrete to lay drains down. And we've come a long way, baby, I have to say. Let's talk floors, because that's always the very next thing after drywall. And that's kind of what we're in the middle of.
I don't know if you saw me sigh when she said, tell me about the floors.
Yeah.
Every single floor had swoops, whether it's valleys or it would fall off on the ends.
Or bumps. The house was filled with carpeting.
Which we understand why.
Now we understand. That worked really, really well.
This is an old house. This structure slowly changes over time, making not only the first floor, but now every floor upstairs has challenges as well. Us needing to put in hardwood means we need to make sure all of these slabs are level.
Bottom line, it's been a long haul. I feel like it's turned the corner to where we're starting to put in all these finished materials now. We've got tile floors in, we've got some cabinetry in. There's a lot that's starting to go back in, which is so exciting.
These rough openings for doors, every single one of them is custom. There's no standard size in the house.
And the discovery was that even though we ordered the custom door for this size, it wouldn't fit into what we had working with because it was out of square. So we had to completely take out every single door jamb, put the carpenters who were here to install the doors a little bit on hold until every single door jamb and trim around it is removed.
It's kind of like a 2 steps forward, 1 step back situation.
This is exciting. We've got the porcelain marble looking floor in this whole open kitchen now. Tile setters are moving on to the back. We chose to stop the tile on the inside of the jamb so that we could get a clean line for the tile. I want to check the tile progress up here.
Yeah.
Just to see, what's going on. Okay. Wall tile looks good.
Wall tile is beautiful.
Yeah. Ooh. Dan, it looks like something happened with one of the sheets.
It's like it got stretched out, but there's,
or like
quarter-inch gaps between them where it's typically just perfectly tight.
It's almost like the tiles came off the sheet and he tried to hand lay each one of them, but was dizzy.
Remember when I said 2 steps forward, 1 step back?
A really good installer is going to note the pattern that the mosaic has been laid in on the sheet. And you can see right here, right in the middle of those 2 round pieces is the one on this row. So it's exactly offset, exactly. So when you lay sheet to sheet, this next one needs to be completely in line with the row next to it. And it's not here. Okay, so Dan's on the phone with the tile setter, so we'll let him handle that. But everything else is looking good. All these floors have been leveled out and are ready for hardwood, which starts tomorrow. It's very exciting.
Hey.
Making progress here.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Okay, this is Ted Start, my son-in-law, and also an expert trim carpenter and cabinet installer. And so, of course, we have him on the French house job because we have some pretty important cabinetry going in here. When we saw you and Grace at the house, she had a huge binder.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. This is very important for any kitchen install like this where there's a lot of custom pieces and, carpenter has to
Know what goes where.
know what goes where, and there's even like installation notes to help the carpenter sort of understand the order of operations.
This installation instruction set is standard operating procedure for every Stoffer Home cabinetry job. You got a special delivery binder. You know somebody. This really looks great, Ted.
Thanks.
I'll let you do your thing.
All right.
Thanks for stopping and talking to us.
Thanks for stopping by.
See you, Teddy.
Okay, so much progress.
We've made a bunch of progress, but we are going to continue the momentum.
Yeah.
Wood floors, cabinetry, doors, trim, everything is happening.
I've had so many amazing opportunities in design over all the years, both with just remodeling normal homes to doing historic home renovations to actually building new homes from the ground up. And they're all very interesting. And now Dan, my son, is in charge of the build department at our company. And he too is having some of these experiences. And I thought it would be really fun to just sit down with him and talk about some things that we've learned. Okay, so Dan, I've been thinking about this. Why am I so attracted to old homes and remodeling homes? Obviously a lot of people reach out to us that have that same proclivity. Love it.
Well, the reason is there are aspects of these homes where if you try to replicate it in 2026, it's infinite money to do it. The masonry, the trim work.
Yeah.
Finding a house where it's already that work is done is incredibly attractive.
Yeah. There's something too, Dan, that I love about taking a home that it still has a lot of beauty and it still has a lot of craftsmanship to appreciate, but its livability has degraded over the years, which happens. And to bring those beauties back and give them another 75 years or another 100 years of beautiful living, there is something deeply gratifying about that.
Absolutely.
We generally do a mixture of restoration, like let's say we restore a cornice on the outside, and remodeling, because pure restoration is kind of like a museum. It makes a house its original way of living, which we don't live that way anymore.
No.
I like looking at a house like that where, whereas the kitchen used to be in that dark corner over there, okay, what if we move it here? And what can you see from it? Because if it's the center and you want it to have the best light in the house and the best relationship with all the other rooms, it's gonna be in a different place.
You also need to think about what is it gonna take in order to do that. For example, at the French house, you have not only a load-bearing wall that we need to take out and put steel to support that structure with multiple posts hidden within walls, thinking that you can get away with, I will just move one room to here and this room back over there, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some spackle on top. It doesn't tend to work like that.
No. And even when you have your plan and you know what you're facing, like I would say up front, we knew that was a bearing wall, it would require moving it. You know these things, but when you live them in reality, how expert the people need to be that are involved in it, and how long it actually takes to get all this stuff organized and executed, it's hard, but it's worth it. This is the thing, it is worth it. Is it Monday? Monday Reflections with Jean and Dan?
Is this a new segment?
Yes.
Yeah, Monday morning demo philosophy or whatever?
Yes, well now we'll just continue it, we'll make it broad. I feel like this is truly in life, the things that are the hardest to do oftentimes are the most gratifying, the most worth it, and have the most impact in our lives and in our are characters doing hard things.
And what is more rewarding than taking something that's obviously needs attention and bringing it into something stunning?
Yeah. Thank you for the partnership on that.
I'm learning a lot right now.
Yeah, well, we all are, but that's life. Continually learning every day. It actually makes life fun. About once a year, we have an outlet sale here at our warehouse and design offices, and it's kind of fun. You know, who does not love the hunt for something that's great, but at a great price? So I get to meet all kinds of people. It's a really fun event, and we have this collection of items that we've put together, and it's fun bringing people in and kind of seeing our space and seeing people find treasures. One really fun thing about having a retail store is that we get to see and meet a lot of people. This is really a fun piece that has been added since I went from just being a single kitchen designer working from my home to meeting more and more people, listening to stories from people across the country, whether it's projects they've designed or things that they love about their family that kind of remind them of ours. Having the retail aspect of things, and thus the warehouse sale, opened up a whole new window for me that I've really enjoyed. The French house is really coming along. I mean, pretty soon both the wood floor and all the tile work will be done. There's a lot of layers left, but all of the basic layers are done now, and so all these pretty finished materials are coming next. The lighting fixtures and the plumbing fixtures and the paint colors and all the countertops and all just the pretty things. In the next episodes of the French house, you'll be seeing all of that being installed and laid out, and so make sure you tune in to the next episode of the French house at our channel, Stoffer Home. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you never miss it. Till next time.